This is Lewandowski of WeAreChange.org. I'm here with Jason and Jennifer. Now, Jason and Jennifer have a very interesting story of what happened to them here recently in Orlando. Can you tell us what happened?
Well, basically, we decided to put in a front yard vegetable garden, not realizing that the city would then put us in violation, saying that they were going to charge us $500 a day if we did not remove the vegetable garden.
And this is a garden on your own property.
This is our property. We've owned for over 20 years, and the garden is very well maintained. It is manicured beautifully.
Now, what kind of plants did you have in there?
Very, very highly illegal cucumbers, some really overgrown squash, but basically your normal vegetable garden, herbs, vegetables, stuff that tastes good. Basically, we got sick of wasting the money on stuff that didn't give us something in return, and so now we invest a little bit of money in our garden, and it gives us a whole lot of food for it. And that made sense to us,
That's amazing. Now, I've been covering sustainable communities all over the United States, and the state always finds a way to somehow put its greedy little claws in there and to take something away from some people who just want to live independently and grow their own food and be independent. They want you to be subservient to the state. There's one case in Dallas that I covered where police raided a sustainable community and destroyed their okras and their blackberries because they thought they were growing marijuana. They destroyed them and confiscated them. It's insane. But
and yet the police did not know the difference between a blackberry and marijuana. That's the real funny part.
So what justification, because obviously with the Garden of Eden in Dallas, they used the justification that they must be growing marijuana, which they didn't. They didn't find anything. They arrested the poor guy for having a traffic ticket after blazing in with a SWAT team. What justification are they using against you guys in your dangerous garden?
Well, the biggest thing that they had to argue was basically aesthetic. It was a vanity type world now, and so they were trying to apply an HOA kind of mentality to the city, and we weren't going to accept that. So we listed a long list of benefits and things that are good and how we don't impact anybody and all these other things, but they really weren't interested in most of that stuff. They basically, when it all said and came down to, is what you said. It was about what they wanted, and it really, because they're in the position of power, they get what they want, and that's really what upset them the most.
Now, with the state coming after you, what was your reaction? What did you guys decide to do?
Well, our initial reaction was that we vehemently said that we were not going to remove the vegetable garden. That was never an option from day one.
Told them you'd take my house before they take my garden.
And so
come and take it.
We went to
Don't worry, you can go.
We went to vote, and we went before work, and we saw that everybody from our district was there, and we figured this would be a great place for us to start a petition. In that petition, we included the right to grow food wherever the sun shines on your property, and we received over 10,000 signatures. We talked to people in our neighborhoods who said, if you lose, we're going to lose our garden. So we realized early on, we're not fighting just for our garden. We're fighting for everybody's right to be able to grow food.
And so grassroots, just darn hard grassroots, getting out there, educating the people, and taking the approach of just what we say is, we're not here to shove what we want down your throat. And we don't want you to do that to us either. And we're not hurting you, so don't hurt us, and let us have our vegetable gardens. And once you started educating people, we actually made pictures of our garden, because people would say, oh, it's an ugly farm. And it's like, no, that's GMO world. This is not, no. This is a beautiful garden. And they would look at the picture and goes, well, who would complain about that? And that's exactly the point.
Did you guys start the Freedom Garden, is that correct?
It's the PatriotGarden.com campaign, actually, and is what we've done now that we've won our battle. It's happening all over the country still. And so what we've done is donated that whole campaign, the website, the petitions continue to add on to anybody that needs it for when they go up against their cities and counties.
Beautiful. So people could, when they go on your website, find out everything about it. Can we also learn how to maybe even grow our own garden? Do you guys?
Well, that would be a second website. Okay. And from this, we've been inspired. We've been so touched by the community. We've been so many people have just come to us with the weirdest questions, good questions, motivation, and we didn't want them to just leave them there. So we've just started helping people install gardens all over the city of Orlando, to the point we started a company called Growing Food. It's a nonprofit charity. We do it with volunteers and donations and anything else we can. And Basically, it runs twofold. Basically, if you want a garden, we help you install it, but we're going to ask you once we install it to give 10% of that food back to us so we could go feed the hungry with it. Now, the next thing we ask is for somebody that might not be able to garden in whatever reasons, physical, disabilities, age, any of those things, they'll give us their land. So we'll actually grow food on their land for the hungry, and then we give them a percentage back for letting us use their land.
Yeah, it's the use of their land. They just donate a portion of their sunny yard for us to have the volunteers install a garden with, educators, and then we give them all the education behind it. It's really interesting.
Awesome. And is this only in Florida, or?
That's where we started. We wanted to go international. We think this breaks down most conventions. It's taking us back to just simple trade. Money kind of gets erased. Labor becomes valuable. Food becomes valuable, water becomes valuable, and now all these skills and everything around it are a trade system, an economic system in itself where you don't even need the dollar.
We got to plant the seeds, and it starts with you. Now, what are the websites again?
Well, patriotgardens.com is the Patriot Garden website, and then thegrowingfood.com is the Growing Food website.
Yep, and you can visit us on Facebook, and if there's any way that we can help anyone grow food, we're willing to be available.
You guys are doing incredible work. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much
so
from the
much.
bottom of my heart.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Grow food, not laws.